In 1941, the United States believed it was safe, separated from the rest of the world by thousands of miles of ocean. Many Americans saw war as something distant, something happening somewhere else. Japan did not see the world the same way. Behind closed doors, Japanese leaders faced a crisis that threatened their nation's survival. Factories needed oil, ships needed fuel, the military needed resources Japan simply did not have. And the country that controlled much of that access was the United States. At first, the conflict was not fought with weapons, but with pressure. Sanctions tightened, trade routes narrowed, diplomacy stalled. Each decision pushed Japan closer to a moment it could no longer avoid. Leaders in Tokyo understood the risk. Attacking the United States could awaken a powerful enemy, but doing nothing meant slow collapse. In the end, one question dominated every meeting. Was it better to wait and weaken, or strike first and gamble everything? The answer would lead to one of the most shocking attacks in modern history. By the late 1930s, Japan was running out of time. Unlike the United States, Japan had very limited natural resources. It had almost no oil, little iron, and depended heavily on imports to keep its factories and military running. Every ship, every aircraft, every military vehicle required fuel. Without oil, Japan's expansion and even its survival as a modern power was impossible. For years, Japan relied on foreign supplies. Much of that supply flowed through regions influenced by Western powers, especially the United States. As Japan expanded across Asia, tensions increased. The war in China consumed enormous amounts of fuel and materials. Factories worked constantly, while stockpiles slowly declined. Japanese leaders understood a harsh reality. If access to resources was cut, the nation would be forced to choose between retreat and collapse. By the late 1930s, Japan was running out of time. Unlike the United States, Japan had very limited natural resources. It had almost no oil, little iron, and depended heavily on imports to keep its factories and military running. Every ship, every aircraft, every military vehicle required fuel. Without oil, Japan's expansion and even its survival as a modern power was impossible. For years, Japan relied on foreign supplies. Much of that supply flowed through regions influenced by Western powers, especially the United States. As Japan expanded across Asia, tensions increased. The war in China consumed enormous amounts of fuel and materials. Factories worked constantly, while stockpiles slowly declined. Japanese leaders understood a harsh reality. If access to resources was cut, the nation would be forced to choose between retreat and collapse. By the late 1930s, Japan was running out of time. Unlike the United States, Japan had very limited natural resources. It had almost no oil, little iron, and depended heavily on imports to keep its factories and military running. Every ship, every aircraft, every military vehicle required fuel. Without oil, Japan's expansion and even its survival as a modern power was impossible. For years, Japan relied on foreign supplies. Much of that supply flowed through regions influenced by Western powers, especially the United States. As Japan expanded across Asia, tensions increased. The war in China consumed enormous amounts of fuel and materials. Factories worked constantly, while stockpiles slowly declined. Japanese leaders understood a harsh reality. If access to resources was cut, the nation would be forced to choose between retreat and collapse. The plan focused on the American Pacific Fleet stationed at Pearl Harbor. Japanese commanders believed that destroying the fleet would prevent the United States from responding effectively. Preparations were carried out in extreme secrecy. Pilots trained relentlessly. Ships moved quietly across the ocean. On the morning of December 7, 1941, the attack began. American forces were caught completely by surprise. Battleships burned. Aircraft were destroyed on the ground. Within hours, Pearl Harbor was in ruins. The attack shocked the world. What Japan hoped would secure its future, instead awakened a powerful and determined enemy. The day after the attack, the United States declared war on Japan. American industry shifted into full wartime production. Factories expanded. Millions enlisted. What Japan had feared most became reality. In the long run, the attack on Pearl Harbor did not weaken the United States. It unified the nation. The Pacific War that followed would be long and devastating, ending with consequences far beyond what Japanese leaders had imagined. Japan's decision was driven by fear, pressure, and limited choices. It was not made lightly, but it was a gamble that ultimately led to defeat. Pearl Harbor became a reminder of how economic pressure, mistrust, and desperation can push nations toward catastrophic decisions.